Hello and welcome to Tina's Joyful Kitchen. So happy that you're here with us today. Today's show is all going to be about crispy salmon. Do you ever want, I love that crispy skin on the salmon, and I'm going to teach you how to make it nice and crispy. Then we're going to make this wonderful arugula and kale raw salad. Yes, a raw salad with kale. And I'm going to teach you how to massage the kale because even kale is high maintenance. And then we're going to make these zoodles. Get zucchini and make little zoodles out of it. I can't eat pasta, but I can eat zoodles, and they're a heck of a lot of fun. So I'm going to teach you how to make a cold zoodle salad for the summer, and we're going to have a really good time with all of it. So before I get started, let me just go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Tina McDermott. I call myself the Lazy Inspirational Chef. I'm a speaker and I'm a weight loss coach. I've been doing this for 20 years. This is my love. This is my passion. And there's no place that I'd rather be than right here, right now, in my kitchen, teaching the world, teaching you how you can live a life that's full of vibrancy, that's full of joy, and free from all of those other things that we don't want in our lives. Dis-ease, diets, and those emotional chains that keep us just locked into our bodies. So let's let go of all of that and let's learn how to find a lot of joy in the kitchen. Drum roll, please. All right. Let's get started. We're going to start with our crispy salmon. Crispy salmon. Now, why do we want to eat salmon? Why do we want to eat? We want to eat salmon because it is really good for our brains. It is full of DHA, which is an omega-3 fatty acid that's phenomenal for our brains. I might have said this in one of our past episodes. I had Lyme disease that really affected my brain. And now I do anything and everything that I possibly can in order to feed my brain the right kinds of foods. And salmon makes the top of the list for me. Also, it's got really good fat in it too. That's good and yummy for you. So what you want to do is you want to take your salmon out of the refrigerator 20 to 30 minutes prior to cooking it. Because if it's too cold, the meat seizes a little and it doesn't get as crispy as we want it to be. So take it out, put it on a plate, and add some sea salt and pepper. Now, why do we want sea salt versus the regular table salt? Regular table salt, sodium chloride, it's highly processed. And you see, my philosophy is to eat foods as close to the way that Mother Nature prepared them for us, and the better that they are for you. And sea salt, not processed, and it's also full of minerals. Minerals that our soil is depleted of. So our vegetables, even if they're organic, and our fruits don't have as many minerals as they did 40, 50 years ago. So make sure you're getting your sea salt. And there's all kinds of sea salt. I'm going to be using a pink Himalayan sea salt. That's what I have over on this side. Over here, I think I have a Murray River sea salt. That's a little flakier. You can use either or. I love the pink sea salt. And just run it through your fingers and kind of get the feel for the sea salt. You don't always have to use spoons and say, oh, I need a half a teaspoon. Be inspired to use what you want. Also, understand something, a couple of things. Salt enhances the flavor of food. Also, you can always add it, but you can't take it away. So go on the little light side. Don't go too heavy, although I have a heavy hand. Back to pepper, or over to pepper, I should say. Pepper changes the flavor of food. Salt enhances, pepper changes, okay? Now, if you love pepper, I cook a lot with olive oil, salt, and pepper. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. It's in almost everything. Freshly ground black pepper, the flavor profile is astounding. So you always want to get yourself a pepper grinder. It is so worth it. Get yourself a pepper grinder and use freshly ground black pepper. There you go. Now that we have the salt and pepper on our salmon, we're going to put it in the pan. But before we get to that, I'm going to put this aside and we're going to talk a little bit about the cast iron skillet. Let's talk about the cast iron skillet, why we need a cast iron skillet, and what are the benefits and how to clean it. Oh my gosh, everyone always asks me, they have rusty cast iron skillets that they don't use, and here's the thing. take that rusty cast iron skillet out, throw a whole bunch of coarse salt into it and some oil, and scrub it with some steel wool or some kind of scrub brush, and get rid of all of that rust that might be on there. Coat it with some good oil, put it in the oven. I think it's 450 degrees. Don't quote me on that number. For about an hour. It's going to stink up the house, so do it at a time. You can open up the windows, and that will season the pan. Now, once it's seasoned, you're going to cook with it. And once you're done cooking, you're going to take the pan, let it cool off for a couple of seconds, bring it to the sink, pour water in it with your steel wool, scrub out any food pieces. You're going to take it, you're going to put it back on the burner. I always set a timer for 3 minutes, and the burner will dry it. Whether it's a gas stove or electric stove, it doesn't matter. 3 minutes, let it dry completely. And then if it looks a little dry-ish, put a little bit more oil and move it around with a little bit of a napkin or something. And then this just sits on top of my stove all the time. Okay, when I'm ready to use it, I use it. And there we go. So the other thing with the salmon, let's get back to the salmon, is you want to make sure your cast iron skillet is nice and hot. So I've had this nice and hot for a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil. Always want to do extra virgin olive oil. Do not buy light olive oil. It is not light in calories, it's light in flavor. And I don't know about you, but I love a lot of flavor. I know you do. I know you love a lot of flavor, so use some really good extra virgin olive oil. Okay? Now, the trick to get your salmon crispy, heat up the cast iron skillet. Now look, if you don't have a cast iron skillet, use whatever pan you have. It's okay. Make sure you heat it up ahead of time, okay? Now, when it comes to raw meat, I already touched this with my hands and I already washed my hands, but I'm not gonna touch it again. So I'm gonna put this in the pan, skin side up. There we go, skin side up, and we're gonna let that cook for about 4 or 5 minutes. Normally I cook on a gas stove and I can really see and understand the flame and the heat of the gas. When it comes to electric, I have a little more of a difficult time. I just want you to know. So I just turned the heat up. Make sure I turned it up. Yep. And we're gonna let that cook for about 5 minutes. The plate that had the raw salmon on it, it's gonna go right in the dishwasher. Okay, here it is. Actually, just put it right in the sink. The fork that touched the raw salmon, right in the sink. Don't reuse it. Do not reuse it. And again, if you touch raw meat, you wash your hands. You make sure you wash your hands. We're gonna let that sit for a few, and we're gonna go right on to our kale salad. You ready? Let's go right on to our kale salad. Start with, of course, our bowl. And we're gonna get some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful kale. Yes, I think kale is beautiful. If you don't think kale is beautiful, just take a look. It's really purpley. And at least this particular kale is a purple kind of kale. You see how beautiful the stem is? Purple, I love purple. And I washed it, and I want to get rid of all the water that's on there. So I'm putting it in my salad spinner. I love this salad spinner because it's a lot of fun to use. And there we go. And we're just gonna spin it and get rid of a lot of that water because we don't want a watery salad, okay? We don't want a watery salad. There you go. There we go. And now you can see we got rid of a whole bunch of water that was in the kale. We don't want that. And next, we're gonna strip the kale. We're gonna strip the kale. And you don't want to eat these stems in a raw salad because they're really hard. I save them and throw them into stir fries or smoothies. So this is what you're going to do. Grab the stem and cup the leaves and pull. There you go. And we're going to layer one leaf on top of the other. Okay? Whoops, that one was broken, but that's okay. Just layer the leaves right on top of each other. And I think I might have broken some of the stems in my salad spinner, but that's okay. Like I always say, life is messy, it's all good. Just layer the leaves one on top of the other. There we go. Let's get rid of those stems. There we go. Almost done. I'm going to show you how to how to cut this into slivers. Okay, there we go. Layer the leaves, and now watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna roll it, okay? Doesn't matter that there's pieces all over the place, don't worry about it. Here we go, and roll. Like you're making a big, I don't know, roll of some sort, okay? Now, hold this, and remember, grip your fingers, okay? Because we don't wanna slice your pretty little fingers. Grip your fingers, and we're gonna hold on to the knife. Now, my hand's a little wet, so I'm gonna dry my hand so that it doesn't slip on the knife, okay? I have a towel down here. And you're gonna grip your knife, index finger on one side, thumb on the other, 3 fingers on the handle. Got that? And back of the knife, back of the fingers. Do not crunch your fingers in, okay? Crunch your fingers, and we're gonna use the whole knife. Get some elbow grease in there, and you're gonna do small little slivers, and just walk your fingers back. Let your fingers do the walking. Who remembers that? Let your fingers do the walking in the yellow pages. I don't know if their yellow pages even exist anymore. So we're just doing nice little slivers, continuously walking your fingers back. I try to be funny. I don't know if I am, but that's okay. And I'm gonna give it another chop this way, just so I can get smaller bite-sized pieces. Also, did you notice how I'm holding my hands like so? Get my fingers out of the way. Get your fingers out of the way because you love your fingers. I love your fingers. Don't chop them off, okay? Here we go. We got all of our kale. By the way, don't lift the kale with your knife. You're likely to slice yourself and also dull your knife. Don't do that. Grab your kale and put it into your bowl. Now, here comes for the secret to getting really good raw kale in a raw kale salad. I'm gonna get some sea salt, sprinkle it in there. It's about a half a teaspoon. I don't always measure. I'm gonna get some really good olive oil. Here we go. Couple tablespoons. I don't measure. That's just the way I am. And I'm checking on my salmon here. Remember how we say life is messy? I turned it the wrong way. I turned it off as opposed to on. I don't like electric. I'd rather do gas. So that's just going to take a little bit longer, but it's okay. We got other things to do while the salmon's cooking. So now I'm going to massage my kale. And told you, got to use muscles in the kitchen, and we need to work the muscles in our hands as well. And you're just going to massage the kale. And what that does, it breaks down the outer layer of the kale and makes it more chewable. Okay, makes it easier for you to eat. Let me tell you, this is so packed full of nutrition. Remember we were talking about the fish with the DHA fatty acid? The green leafy vegetables are full of ALA fatty acid that once you eat that, it turns into the DHA fatty acid, which is wonderful for your brain. That's an omega-3 fatty acid, right? And really, really good for your brain, and you need that. Now, there you go. So, got that all massaged up. You want to massage it for a minute, 2 minutes, and life is messy. So go wash your hands. I'll be right back. Okay. Now, sometimes you don't want just kale in your salad. You want some other things in your salad. I love arugula. It's one of those bitter greens that is really good for your liver. You think bitter, you think liver. Very, very good for your liver. And now, I couldn't find arugula all by itself, but I found an arugula spinach mix. And I'm going to put a nice handful of spinach and arugula right in there with the kale. It makes such a nice mix, such a nice mix. So there we have it. And next I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning, some more seasonings. In this particular salad, I love lime. I love lime in this one. So we're gonna get our lime and we're going to roll it on the counter, and that is how you're gonna get even more juice out of that lime. So roll it, again, gotta use those muscles. I've been a personal trainer for 20 plus years, so I'm always thinking about different ways that you can get exercises in your life. And you know, I might even have to do a couple push-ups to wait for that salmon to cook, but it's okay because you can do push-ups right there, right on your counter as you're waiting things to happen, right? You got to get your workout throughout the day and just incorporate it into your everyday life, into everything that you're doing. I've got this really awesome lemon lime squeezer little thing that is brand new and I love it, absolutely love it. Just bought it a couple weeks ago with my sister and it literally gets all of the juice out of that lime. Now, what do you do with this? Throw it in the trash or throw it in the garbage disposal and it'll help clean out the garbage disposal. Or you can just put it in the compost. That's what I do. Give it right back to Mother Earth. Put it right back in that compost. Okay, there we go. We've got our lime. And pour a little bit of lime in there. For this salad, I also like a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So I'm gonna throw in just a little bit of balsamic vinegar. My husband drinks this stuff. I don't know how he does it. He drinks it. Holy cowza. I don't understand how he can drink so much. Everything tastes better with a little bit of freshly cracked black pepper on top. And there we have it. There we have it. Our salmon is finally starting to cook. And now, if you like onions, put onions in here. If you like tomatoes, put tomatoes in here. Whatever it is that you like, you can add it to this salad, or you can just eat it as is. This salad makes a nice accompaniment to the salmon, once our salmon cooks, that is. And we're just gonna plate some right here, and we're gonna wait for our salmon to finish. Okay, there you have it, our kale arugula salad. Next, we're gonna have some fun and we're gonna play with some zoodles and poodles. You're like, what in the world is a poodle? I will show you what a poodle is. Let me move this stuff out. And give me a couple of seconds. I'm gonna set this up for us to make some zoodles. Yes, I sang. Should I be singing? Who knows? It's all good. Okay. When it comes to zoodling, you have to have some fun with it. You can buy yourself one of these little zoodlers, and I like this one. It's by the company OXO. I had purchased 2 other ones prior to this I did not like. This OXO one I like a lot better, and it sticks to your countertop. So you press it down. I hope you can see this okay. And you have to suction cup it. So you see it suction cup down, told you, muscles. All right, there you have it. Now we're gonna make some zoodles with some zucchini, okay? If you wanna make poodles, you get sweet potatoes. So a potato noodle poodle, do you get that? There you go, you got our poodles. Let me get a bowl and ready to get zoodling. We're gonna chop off that little nubby nub. We don't want that. We don't want the other side of the nubby nub. And throw it right into the compost. You're gonna put this grip it right there, and butt it up against the blade. Again, use your muscles, get behind it, push just a little, not a ton, and zoodle away. There you go. I hope you're seeing some zoodles on the other side. Hope you're seeing some zoodles. I broke out in song again, that happens. All right. Now, for my raw zoodle salad, I don't like long noodles, so I prefer them a little smaller, like this, and this particular blade is doing this for me. There's a couple of different blades that come with my zoodler, and there we have it. Oops, all over the place again. Oh well. Okay, now I'm gonna show you an easier way to make zoodles. I'm gonna show you an even easier way that you don't have to get this whole contraption out and waste that piece. I have something called a Veggetti. It's handheld, super simple, Doesn't take up a lot of room in your countertops. And you can do a larger noodle or a thinner noodle on the other side. For this one, don't clip off the big nub. Keep that. You're going to take off the bottom piece and make sure it gets into the compost over there. Salmon is sounding really good. Salmon is sounding really good. It's probably time to flip it. Let me just check real quick. Yep, it's time to flip it. When you start to really hear it sizzle, it's about 4 or 5 minutes, okay? When you start to hear it sizzle and you start that aroma, that smell, it's time to flip. So here we go. We're gonna flip it on the skin side, and we're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes, and we're gonna check it in 5 minutes. All right, back to our zoodles. Talk about multitasking. I love it. Back to our Veggetti. Do we want thinner noodles? Do we want thicker noodles? You decide. Okay, and this is how simple it is. You hold it in one hand and in the other hand, and you spiralize away. There you go. There you have it. Now, you see how long those noodles are? I don't like to have to cut them later, so pull it out and you break the noodle. You break the zoodle. Spin a couple of times, pull it out. Spin a couple of times and pull it out. Now, this is going to be a cold zoodle salad. You can also easily put some olive oil and garlic in a pan and saute this for 2-3 minutes and put a little salt and pepper on top of it. Oh, so good, so delicious, and absolutely wonderful for you. You get so many vitamins and minerals, and oh boy, there's something in the middle there that I need to pull out. Oh, there it goes. Back to the earth you go. And I'm going to continue spiralizing. Remember, spiral for a couple of times, pull it out, and there you have, told you, mussels in the kitchen. There we go. Okay, our little Veggetti. We'll put that aside. And we have all of our noodles. They're all ready to go here, okay? Next, let's make some kind of fun dressing. We're going to do this a raw salad, so let's make a raw dressing. And let's see, what are we going to use as our dressing for this one? I'm an olive oil, vinegar, salt and pepper kind of girl, as I've already said. But for this one, I'm going to start with some garlic. Now, garlic, many people like to use the powdered garlic or the jarred garlic. I don't judge. I'm just going to tell you that garlic is an amazing, amazing, amazing vegetable that is on this earth for a very good reason, because it boosts your immune system. When you put a lot of heat to it, when it's in the jar, it's been high heat, and you get the flavor, maybe, but you will not get the immune boosting properties. So I'm going to highly suggest to you that you buy yourself some raw garlic and you eat raw garlic. So much better for you. And it's very simple. You just get the back of the knife, smash it. There you go. I remember growing up when my mom's in the kitchen cooking. Us kids, we didn't want to go through the kitchen, because if we went through the kitchen, then we would end up having to cook in the kitchen, and we didn't want to have to cook or peel the garlic, because then your hands smell of garlic. Well, here's a tip. Stainless steel knives. Also, wash your hands and rub your hands on the stainless steel faucet, and it'll get rid of the garlic smell. I smell something going on over here. I smell something going on. It's smelling good. Let's see how it's coming along. Yep, coming along beautifully. I'm going to flip it one more time. And we're going to let that cook for 2 more minutes while we go and play with garlic. So if you're not a huge fan of garlic, I'm going to give you a little trick. Cut your garlic in half and rub your garlic on the inside of the bowl. Rub the garlic on the inside of the bowl, and you're going to get a nice flavor of garlic. Maybe not as much as the immune boosting properties that you want, but at least it'll be a beginner's way of eating garlic. Now, when I was a little girl, my dad put a piece of garlic in my mouth while I was under the table playing with the kittens. And I'm not a fan of raw garlic, so I prefer it roasted. But you know, sometimes I know raw garlic is super good for you, so I will use the raw garlic. I'm just going to chop it up. And we have to check that salmon, so I'll be trying to do this super quick. Now you can also use a garlic press. If you have never used a garlic press, super easy. You just put the garlic clove right in there, smash it through, and now you've got, look how much easier that is than what I was doing. Now with the salmon, we're going to go back to the salmon first for a moment. If you don't have an instant read thermometer, get one. These instant read thermometers will save your meat, okay? You want fish to be at 145 degrees, and then you know that it's done. And it takes a couple of seconds. This way, you don't butcher your meat going, oh, is it done? Is it done? Is it still pink? I don't know. I don't know. Is it still pink? And you don't want to touch the pan with it either. You just want to insert it into the meat, and it's at 145. So this is done. We're going to turn the heat off. Look how crispy the skin side is. And let me get this so that I don't slap it down. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. Now, the skin is edible. So if you want to eat the skin, it is edible. My dogs so happen to love the skin, so I tend to feed it to them. And this is hot, so I'm going to put this over here so it doesn't continue to cook on me. Okay, all right, so look at that, how beautiful. Let's go back to the zoodles, back to our zoodle salad. We have some garlic in here. Now we're gonna put some lemon juice. So I'm gonna get my handy dandy lemon juicer. We're gonna roll our lemon. Why are we rolling the lemon? So we get more juice out of our lemon. Here we go. And there we go. Put a little bit of lemon juice in there. Maybe you want I think maybe a little bit more lemon juice because I put 2 zucchini in there, so a little bit more lemon juice would be appropriate. There we go. I think I got some seeds in there, but like I said, life is messy. Get your hands dirty, get it out. And what if you eat it? It's all right, it's just a lemon seed, not gonna kill you. Okay, what else do we want in there? We're gonna put some parsley in here. Why parsley? Parsley, they use it to garnish dishes, right? And you think, oh, it's just a garnished dish and you don't eat it. It's actually really good to help cleanse the liver. It also changes the flavor profile in your palate. So if you ever get served parsley, eat it after a meal, and I bet you anything, you're not gonna want dessert. Because that's one of the things, especially if I have a garlic flavor in my mouth, I wanna change that flavor. I wanna get rid of that garlic flavor. And dessert sweets typically do that for you. But if you eat the parsley, it will change that flavor, and it also cleanses your liver. It helps you digest your food. So you can eat these stems, but I don't want them in my salad. You can throw them into smoothies even. Why not? Why not throw them right into smoothies? Okay, remember, get your fingers out of the way. Let your fingers do the backwards walking, and dice that up and put those right into your zoodle salad. Wonderful for you with that parsley. Something funny I like to talk about with parsley. My mom's off the boat Italian, and we grew up, we had a little plot of land. What we always grew parsley. And now at the beach house, the driveway is all gravel, and my dad is not allowed to use any kind of pesticides because of the dogs. And in the gravel, of course, we have a little plot of garden where my mom grows tons of parsley. You'll see parsley coming up out of the gravel. It's hysterical. We always have parsley, fresh parsley at our house. Now, what is missing from here? We're missing a little bit of olive oil. Missing a little bit of olive oil. Here we go. I know, I don't measure. That was about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Olive oil is incredibly good for your heart, very good for heart health. So definitely eat it up. There we go. I know, I'm a little messy, but that's okay. So what a wonderful combination. What a wonderful combination. You have this cold zucchini salad that's full of immune boosting garlic, and you've got the vitamins, the minerals, the fiber from the zucchini. And then we also have this kale salad with the arugula that is very good for your brain, as well as this amazing, crispy, delicious, amazing salmon that, again, is so good for your entire body, mostly your brain. And there we have it. I want to say thank you so much for being here today. And I hope that you enjoyed every minute of this episode. And I want to say thank you from the top to the bottom to the middle of my heart. And until next time, namaste. Bye for now, everyone. Bye for now.